Hey guys, and welcome back to another Otome Game Jam game for 2024. This game is called Another Northern Duke. So, I'm only going to play the demo. It seems like the full game is out. This is the safe for work version, but there is a not safe for work version. That's the one that's the full game, I guess. So the synopsis is that you are expelled from the modern world into a novel. You occupy the body of a minor villainess on her way to marry the beastly Duke of the North. Why does that sound familiar? Your mission to have him fall in love with you. Should be easy, right? Or maybe it's a dream. It's up to us. So in this, you can customize your female MC clothes and appearance. And she can interact with the world in two choosable ways. So it is a visual novel, which the choices do affect the plot and flavor, plus flavor choices, it says. We've got romantic and platonic choices and scenes. There's about 18 plus CGs, many item CGs and chibis, 5 ending achievements to collect, in-game endings guide in achievements after completing one ending, over 20,000 words, or about an hour for the demo. But in the full version, it's 100,000 words and like 10 to 11 hours for just one ending. And then you have a guide who's a sassy bird. So it's just one male romance option whose name is Ro, who is the Duke of the North. And then we've just, got some extras. So in the demo, it's recommended for people to play who are 16 and older because there's strong language, depictions of violence, blood, use of alcohol, suggestive themes, and on-screen death. So those are our warnings. So now that we've got that all said and done, I guess we will start. So, yeah, there's the content warnings on here. Okay. Ooh, Beatrice. Okay, well, we are Alyssa. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Okay, aw, no long hair? Alright. We're gonna be freaking pale already. We'll go with that. For an autumn evening, it sure is cold as frack. The streets are packed to the brim, forcing you to look for an alternate route. The rush hour supplies the stench of petrol and the urban-like racket that accompanies you on your crowded beyond belief way back home. What a lovely day for your tired legs to suffer the extra distance just to avoid the traffic jam. A back alley is not the safest shortcut, but it is the fastest, and from several vinyls, you pick the one that looks and smells the least unpleasant. Still, it's dank, dirty, and as luck would have it, it's far from unoccupied. Oh, we got a knife-wielding dude. The regular low-grade muggers you've come to associate with the area must all have must all be having a smoke break, leaving behind a scrawny punk with a failed bleach job and an unfocused stare. Tacky tattoos and worn-out hand-me-downs, he doesn't seem much younger or dodgier than you. You almost think you'll be able to sneak past him unnoticed when he takes a step forward to cut you off. If it's money you want, well, good luck. How much does he think you will have in this economy? Blah, blah, blah. The guy disregards your attempt at a dry joke, staring pointedly at something over your shoulder. But there's nothing besides a concrete wall. You feel the coldness seeping through your clothes as you take a hurried step back and collide with it. No hurt feelings, right? His gaze slides back to you, but the blasé expression on his face doesn't change. Even as he marches at you, one of his hands going towards the back pocket of his jeans. NPC number 39585? What is this crazy dude on about? Hold on. Is that a knife? It sure is. He's holding it in a vice-like grip. He's on you before you can react, without giving you the room to escape. One of his hands fists the front of your jacket. The other buries what feels like the entire length of the blade into your side, pulling it out just as fast, wet and slippery with blood. Crap. Though you struggle and writhe, pushing the thug off you, his surprising strength sends you ricocheting backward like a paper doll. 99 off, 1 remaining. He mutters under his breath, giving you just a single appraising glance as you topple to the ground before darting out of the alley. Hey! You scream all you want. Neither the thug nor the passerby hear your voice, as it is drowned under the cacophony of the evening traffic. The pain spreads through you like lightning, doubling when you try to get back on your feet. Gritting your jaw, you half crawl out of the alley. You return to the main street just in time to see your attacker snake through the busy crosswalk, ignoring the red light only to swerve. Crap! Right under a speeding truck. Karma sure is a... Yo, what the heck? What the heck is this? It's not hell. At least you don't think it is. You're alive, pain-free but dazzled. Frack. The thing you just said about pain? Lies. Your head collides with something cold and flat. A window? GM, are you for real right now? This has got to be a joke. If it is, it isn't funny. What is this place? Another book? Novel this time? What? Who? Forcing your eyes to focus on what is before you, you glance around the confined space, noticing the dark, velvety interior and thick curtains on both sides. You're swaying back and forth. No, not you. The vehicle. A carriage of sorts? Dang it all. You rat. I did what you asked for. Oh my gosh, it's the attacker. The attacker's a bird. Oh, that's funny. GM, answer me. In the corner of the seat in front of you, there's a yellow bird who's kicking at the wall. Now it's smacking it with its wings. Who's G? Oh, hold on. Can I save? Who's GM? Who's GM? If the bird hears you, it ignores you completely, continuing its tirade, voice growing more and more irate. Why the heck am I a stupid bird? As the lamentation turns into a snarl, something in your brain connects. This voice, it's familiar, like you've heard it recently. But you can't connect it to a face, laced with desperation as it is. GM, you frackin' dick. Yelling its poor little heart out, the bird forgets to hold on to the seat. When the vehicle drives over a bump, it sends the creature toppling forward. Unconsciously, you lean across the divide between the two seats and reach over towards the bird. Ah! Ah! The scream startles you, sending you backwards. Your body hits the seat. Its softness cushions you completely. The bird shields itself with its wings, only to scoff once it looks past your face. Oh, wait, it's only that stupid NPC. It sighs, disappointed. She won't get it. What a dumb butt. Just like the rest of them. Oh yeah, now you remember that fracker. How could you ever forget? Yes, the yellow, cartoonish-looking bird staring at you is your killer. The same jackass that stabbed you and left you for dead. You're that fracking butthole who murdered me. Technically, I didn't kill you, you just bled to death. Why are you stressing? Not like you can remember it anyways. What? I just told you. What? What? Does it help you sleep at night when you have no conscience? Snarling at the words, you stand up, coming closer to the bird. No, to your killer. Actually, I sleep fine, thanks. Well, I was, but now that I am stuck in this stupid bird body. Cool sob story, but now you want your answers, and you want them now. Why did you kill me? I didn't kill you. You were never alive to begin with. Ugh, and it's all your fault too. Couldn't you have, I don't know, died faster? That way that stupid truck wouldn't... Is he seriously blaming his death on you? Look. My name is not that. Really now? Not like I got a name to begin with. Fine, fine, it's KD. Kid? What? No, it's not Kid, it's... And I should call my killer by his name? You asked, though? Ugh, never mind. Anyways, no harm done, like I said earlier, right? I mean, look, I got killed too, stuck in this stupid body. He flaps closer to you, using his beak to peck at your forehead, as if to make a point with his comment. Well, might have pulled you along because we died at the same time. Ah, whatever. Wait, why am I explaining crap to an NPC? You're not even real. His confusion could be considered comical, if not for the situation you're both in. Besides, you're just an NPC. It doesn't matter anyways. I'm not an NPC. That's what you NPCs always say. He scoffs dismissively. NPCs, characters, AI, who cares? They aren't real anyways. They're just puppets of the author who made them. You're insane. How do I know you're not an NPC then? Because I have main character energy, duh. And I can actually think, think. You slowly blink, taking in his tiny bird form, your expression morphing into doubt. There's too much ego in that puny body of yours. Whatever helps you sleep better at night. Whatever helps you sleep better at night? The audacity of your own murderer. Will set your attitude toward the world and how you interact with it. Oh, wow. Ooh. Hello? Yo. Hello? Whoa, what the heck? Okay, I finally got it. It makes you livid. Actually, it doesn't make you feel anything at all. We're gonna go with that. Background set. This is just a dream. Note some specific background specific choices are locked. Okay. It's obvious that the entire situation is either an agonal dream or a lucid one. It doesn't even feel real to begin with. The bird, likewise, is only a fragment of your imagination. Though you feel a dull pain when you pinch your cheek, it doesn't disprove your theory. There are dreams that are tangible, dreams that feel endless, but last only a moment. You can write it out, so to speak, until it's time for you to wake. Since you can't recall the features of the last person you saw before death, it's his voice that followed you here. More or less, actually, especially when he what? He killed you, right? He did. You know he did. But now that you try to remember what happened, it eludes you. Like secondhand knowledge rather than a first-hand experience. What? The bird huffs, catching your stare. You almost think to ignore him. He's not real, after all. But he's your soul company, imaginary or not. Might as well entertain the creation of your mind. So what's going on? Why did you kill me? What? You can still remember that? You'll forget soon enough. GM doesn't want his puppets running around traumatized. Now that he mentioned that, your last memories are getting a little fuzzy. He stabbed you, right? Yes, he had a knife with him, but that's all you can recall now. Why me? You got unlucky. If he could properly shrug, he would. For a moment, he seems to forget you're even here, complaining under his breath. Fracking GM doing whatever he fracking wants. Piece of crap. GM, is that who ordered it? Huh? He blinks at you, confused when you bring him back to Earth. Recognition floods his voice. Oh yeah, and it was supposed to be an easy task too, like all the usuals, but I never died at the end of any of them. Until now. Until now. He hasn't spoke to me since I woke up either. Don't know where he's at. Faux tears drip around his eyes as he pulls a single wing out of your grip. He bats at his face. Well, frack him. Look. My handsome face, gone. Do you know how tragic this is? You? Handsome. I've been told that I'm very handsome. Your parents don't count. Yes, they do. In protest, he starts pecking at your hand, which you retaliate by pressing your thumb down on his head to make him stop. Knock it off and explain why you decided to kill random people. He huffs out a sigh, slightly morose. He promised to send me home when I finished killing 100 NPCs. You were my 99th. But you're here, alive and well. If you get any funny ideas, you threaten, wanting to be clear that you're not dying a second time. Yes, I won't do anything. I mean, with what hands, right? If birds could roll their eyes, you're sure kid would. Home. Where is your home? Somewhere. Not here, that's for sure. Worry about yourself. Speaking of, your clothes look too old. Last season's fashion, probably. Too old? Have you ever taken a look at yourself? Gee, if only there was a mirror around. As if you'd need one, but I'll describe your appearance in exchange for, any jewelry and gems you got? Though the tone is pointed, there's a hint of excitement in it. Oh, fantastic. What did you expect from a thug? He's after the jewels. You couldn't put it past him to purloin them off your cold corpse if such an occasion arises. It's prime time to assess what you do have, just so you can keep track around sticky wings. Lifting your arm, you tug at the fabric underneath the blankets, which lengthens as you stretch out further. Though there are many layers, they're considerably thinner than you'd expected. Thick lace gathers at your collar, while puffy sleeves hang at your shoulders. There's not much on the dress itself, gems or otherwise. But the hat. Why have jewelry when that's there? Though you're just noticing the earrings brushing your face, shaking along with your movement. Thick silk gloves wrap your arms in a cage of folds. One of your wrists feels more constricted than the other. Upon scrutiny, you find a folded fan attached to it via a soft string of lace. Silently, you inspect the area where you got stabbed thoroughly. There's no blood, no wound to be found. Though Kid thinks you're enamored with the pretty design of the dress, nodding to himself. Not bad, huh? A bit gaudy, but it'll turn heads, that's for sure. He says, then hums, puzzled. Weird. For a supposed baroness, they sent you away with only a box of gold. Ah, no need to check. I already peeked. Assessed the contents. So you're not only a murderer, but a thief, too? Trying to steal my crap? It's not even yours, and I don't try. I do. Besides, if not me, then it'll be someone else. You spit, heat lacing the insult. Kid merely attempts a shrug. I've been called worse. That you can believe. You steal my jewels, and I'll make sure you have none left. You snarl, pointedly staring at his lower half. Oh, too late. Excuse me. Sensing the oncoming tirade, you shake your head at the expletives Kid's spewing, deciding instead to fidget with one of the earrings, tracing its shape with your gloved finger, your mind wandering briefly. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so what an insane situation. This can't be real. Bah, then what is it? Fever dream? Nah, it's real. I'd know. As real as a novel can be, anyway. A novel? What are you going on about? I can't explain it in any way that won't make your little AI brain spin. But the world itself is real, just the people here aren't. Bullcrap, it's either a dream or an afterlife, and you don't look like an angel to me. What would you know, stupid NPC? Gah, there's no point talking to you. You won't understand either way. Just like that, the conversation dies off, filling the newfound silence with more objections concerning the state of his body. The bird reverts to treating you like air. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Hey, where are we? You have eyeballs, don't you? Look outside. He flies out of your hands, settling on the seat across from you. You grumble to yourself, searching for the door handle, pulling it when you find it. A wasteland of snow greets you, blinding you and sending a chill through your frame. The landscape moves steadily as you poke your head out to see a bit of the carriage you're traveling on, which appears to be made of smooth gold without any fancy adornments nor engravings. Up ahead, an obscured figure drives the carriage, pulled by dark-colored horses. Taking another once-over at the scenery, you find more snow, and mountains, and the forest of trees. Oh, there's the sun. Son of a... Shut the dang door! Startling, you comply with the rude, directive, leaning back into their seat in the moment you close the door. When I said look outside, I meant look out the frackin' windows. You should have been more specific. Kid groans. Grab those blankets off the floor and toss one to me. Who died and made you boss? Me, obviously. I'm in a better position than you, knowledge-wise. I should bury and suffocate you with the blanket. Bad, NPC, bad! He appears nervous when you shoot him a withering glare. Satisfied, you bend over to pick up thick blankets made of heavy animal fur. Shivering from the chilly temperature, you yank one over yourself. It's cozy, engulfing you in much-needed warmth. As an afterthought, you throw the other one to Kid, smug when his tiny body is caught under it. The only responses he gives are muffled protesting and rapid movements underneath the blanket. You don't hear anything clearly until Kid pops his head out, heaving breaths. I almost died in a fluffy hell. Oops. You shrug nonchalantly. Seriously, go frack yourself. He throws the comment tiredly, snuggling further into the fur material, his sides pudging out. That's not supposed to be cute. Ignoring that disturbing line of thought, you focus on gathering more intel. So, where are we? And don't say, look outside. Huh? He replies in a daze after forgetting that you exist once again. Oh, the northern lands. You saw it earlier, right? And let the dang cold in. You nod, effortlessly, being gracious enough to ignore his snide remark. Was pretty, wasn't it? By the way, you're on a trip to see your future husband. Congratulations. The change in topics almost gives you a whiplash. What? To whom? The scary, cold-hearted Duke of the North, more beast than man, whose name is Duke North. He says exasperatedly while mumbling this and that about plot, but it was so good. And you're the evil villainess, the infamous... Huh? What did he say? Your ears are ringing. I'm sorry, repeat that? You got wax in your ears or something? Fine. I said you're the evil villainess, the infamous... They're ringing again. Why? Hey. Hey! Ow! Why the frack did you peck me? You went to Cuckoo Land there for a while and you weren't saying anything. Did you even hear what I said? At your dazed look, Kid sighs heavily. From the top. You're the evil villainess, and Duke North's the lucky chap who gets to have you as his future wife. But you're not the original villainess, so I guess you're the only one suffering? Dang, GM sure loves misplacing puppets, moving them around and messing up the plot. Kid tisks, then gets a light bulb moment. The plot? Oh, duh. All you need to do is follow the plot. Then you'll be back in your own story once you fulfill your predestined role. What's the role supposed to be? Easy, marry the Duke of the North. You laugh out loud. Marriage. Villainous. And here most people dream about flying. You can't quite control the dream, so until you do, you're stuck in the predestined scenario. It's fine, though. It's not like any dire consequences could happen to you. You can have some fun in the meantime. I'm not seducing anyone, just so we're clear. What about my poor body? You look better now than you ever did. I'm sure it's an upgrade. You little... Besides, you want me to seduce a man I've never seen? What if he's ugly? He's a duke. The original male lead's evil half-brother. Of course he has to be handsome. I'm not trusting your judgment on that mama's boy. Wait and see then, dummy. You'll change your mind. Not very likely. That's what they all say. Kid freezes, still as he can be. His eyes glaze over, unresponsive to your attempts at making contact. Kid, are you there? Hey, say something. Boo! Got you. Anyways, I got a message. Please refrain from hurting me. It's important, I promise. This carriage ride sure is taking a while. If you have to listen to one more of those important bits of his, you'll have an actual cadaver in here. Oh, what the heck? I've got hearts. I got a message from the GM. It's a weird one. Says you have to seduce the Duke and make him fall in love with you. Slightly different than the just marry him and go, but it's the same thing, kinda. Huh, yeah, that's weird. Bah, you don't even know why it's weird. Double weird for you. You could explain. But why, though? Because your newest message is meant for me, so I should get some info. Kid makes a sound equivalent to a vacuum clogged with crumbs. His look screaming, what a pain in the butt. Okay, so GM only gives me murdery tasks, but it's the first time I told an NPC what he wanted them to do. Would you stop with that? He blatantly ignores your comment, continuing on. Well, you're going to marry him anyways, living at the manor together. He yawns. Been there, done that. You married a duke and lived in his manor before? No! Well, you said. I meant that I've seen this trope before. Wait, why do you know all of this? Where I get my sources isn't important. You need me. Yes, I do, but... It dawns on you where Kid would have gotten his information from. You read romance novels, don't you? Absolutely not. I have no idea what you're talking about. They say that the guilty denies immediately. That's bullcrap. Moving on. We need a game plan. If GM's giving you this task, then more reasons why I should help you. Okay, why do I have to seduce him? You do it. Ha, no way. You said you're handsome enough. Do it yourself, bird boy. GM says it has to be you. And I'm saying seduce him yourself. I'm not doing it. Stupid NPC, you don't have a choice. Or what? You'll... Shh, hold on. Kid hisses, staring fixedly through the window. Here he comes. Who? GM? No, dummy, look. Look where? Shortly after, the carriage comes to an abrupt stop, and the question answers itself. When the door opens, a large, gauntleted hand enters your peripheral, palm up, clearly waiting to help you out. Glancing at Kid offers you no comfort nor guidance aside from a whispered threat. Don't frack this up! Whatever, you won't let a bird tell you what to do. Though you keep your touch light, when you accept the offered hand, it spasms, fingers curling and uncurling just as fast. Nonetheless, a light pull follows, and you have no choice but to step out of the carriage. The fresh air stings your skin, smelling overwhelmingly of frost and pine trees. But there's another odor, that of blood coming off of the man in front of you. His head is lowered, wavy fringe cascading over his brow. Careful now. The distance between you and the paved road proves to be larger than expected. Even with assistance, it's a struggle to keep your balance until you're safely on the ground. Yes, thank you. Too well dressed for an aide, you can assume he's the host, your fiancé. Don't mention it. The emotionless voice matches his expression. Even his half bow is stiff, hands tucked neatly behind his back. A half-fledged reflex forces you to curtsy back. It's as though your body has moved on its own. It makes you frown. He frowns back, and for a breath you both stand here wordlessly before a clanking sound alarms you. Behind the man looms a row of similarly dressed knights, and one of them placed slightly at the forefront. His sheathed weapon is taller than you. How lovely. Next to the guard stands a few servants, clad in thick black shawls of fur linings that obscure their faces and protect them from the cold. They all bow at once, perfectly coordinated. It looks more like a funeral procession than a warm welcome. Your expression undoubtedly matches the majority of the assembly. Save for a red-haired man, drawing closer to your host's side. The curled-up lips peeking from behind a shawl seem almost menacingly joyful. Welcome to the Northern Lands, my lady. I am Duke's advisor, Roy Vinvarley. The redhead speaks first. His tone is cheerful and sweet, almost to an uncomfortable degree. I'm going to have to change that. Cheerful and sweet. He bows before you, so low and with so much flourish that it seems more mocking than polite. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance, he says, voice dripping with honey. Positioned as he is, you almost miss him digging his elbow into Duke's side, prompting him to speak. A pleasure. Likewise. Roy lets out a faint laugh, hiding his mouth behind the back of his hand. I've extended my congratulations in the letter, but please allow me to do it in person. I just hope your stay with us lasts longer than that of the previous brides-to-be. That depends. Oh, pray tell. On many factors, naturally. Life is unpredictable, isn't it? Roy grins, wolf-like and intense. It sure is. Feeling the change in atmosphere, Duke clears his throat, throwing his advisor a blank look. Blank for you. Roy seems to read it without an issue. He extends his arm, but before you can decide whether to accept it, a glimpse of yellow in your peripherals steals your attention away from him. That bird is trying to sneak out, flapping his fat wings as quietly as he can, which is not at all. With a swift motion, you grab the bird in both hands, squishing it in a warning. My lady. Excuse this wayward pet of mine. His name is Dunce. As you can imagine, he's not very smart. A pet. How lovely. I am afraid we weren't informed of your love for animals, or that you'll be bringing your adorable darling along. What? Scrunching up the bird again to keep him from speaking, you transform the unfinished noise into something resembling a chirp. I picked him up from a gutter, you see. You don't think his previous owner I don't think his previous owner liked him very much. My, what a big heart you have. Anyone would have done it. Delightful. You are as beautiful as you are kind. Roy. For the first time since your introduction, an emotion other than complete apathy graces Duke's face. His tone, too, is rather sharp. We dawdled enough. When he addresses you, his voice softens, though not by much. You must be cold. Oh, a little. Oh dear, you should have said something. Then, if you please. The line of guards and servants parts to allow you entry. Though none of them look directly at you as you pass, you can feel the hostility in their stance. Are they expecting you to act like a rabid dog? The only weapon you've ever held in your hands was a baseball bat. You couldn't pose a threat, even if you wanted to. Roy walks ahead while Duke struts by your side, more like a shadow than a real person, eyes fixed ahead. If they weren't already introduced, you'd assume Roy was the owner of the manor. He certainly talks like it, babbling on about interior design as he guides you upstairs. The wooden clocks are recent inventions, marvelously adorning our hallways. Blah blah, something about a priceless painting from the previous century. He talks enough for 5 people. Maybe that's why the Duke's so unused to speaking. The manor does look more like a museum than a home. Large, dark, decluttered, empty. The open windows in the corridor make the already gelid building feel like the Arctic zone. This is your room. After coming to a halt, Roy points at a door that looks like all the other doors on this floor. Sturdy, unadorned. Duke opens it for you, but doesn't follow you in. Neither does Roy. I hope you find it satisfactory. It feels much warmer than the rest of the manor, so that's already a plus. I am aware our manor is deficient in many areas, compared to your home, no less, but I trust that you'll find it in your heart to accept us, lack of grandeur and all. Is that a note of ridicule you hear, masked behind that faux chagrin? The manor looks perfectly fine. Roy blinks at that, taken aback. So is Duke. If you say so. Now, Duke's room is connected to yours via an annex. I left the key on your nightstand in case of any nightly emergencies, so to speak. Roy. Pardon me, I went ahead of myself. It is such a joyous occasion, is it not? We've all been more than excited. Alas, our servants will bring the rest of your baggage shortly. It's been a long way, hasn't it? He smiles again, commiserating, then inclines his head in what you take as dismissal. Please get some rest. All right. Oh, and welcome home. Welcome, Duke mumbles just as the door closes. Thanks, I guess. Shouldering the weight of the entire journey and what came before it, you slump against the wall, breathing in and out for a long time. When you feel less shaky, you stumble towards the large bed. The thick, warm covers are surrounding you, and you want nothing more than to shed the coldness that seeped into your bones. Shouldn't you look through that? Oh, right, you're not alone. Lamenting internally at the temporary pause in your journey to warmth, you answer him. Look through what? That goodie on the floor. Staring in the direction he's pointing at, you find a single suitcase. A servant must have brought it into your room before your arrival. Again with the stealing. Have you seen Duke? You think Mr. Barebones has any valuables on him? Where? Under that boring cape of his? Please. Now, that advisor of his, however, he sure is a peacock. Are you crazy? What if they accuse me for that crap you do? Have you seen the fracking weapons they have? Your knife had nothing on them. Better you than me. Oh, huh. I'm supposed to help you. Yeah, so keep your kleptomaniac wings to yourself. Kid maturely replies with a mocking impression of you. Hand, wing, gestures, and all. I guess I'm opening it. Ignoring the idiot, you bend down to snap the suitcase open. Instead of riches or treasures, you find the barest of necessities. No memorabilia, no spare accessories, just a change of clothes and undergarments. During your inspection of a dress, a letter flutters from underneath the folds. A dry ink stain covers a smudged out name. Bah, boring. Wait, open it, open it. What if it's something? What if it's some land deed? Okay. Turning the letter around, you see a plain red wax seal. The flap underneath partially opened. You read the contents. I'll treasure our last meeting dearly. I hope you'll remember every moment as well as I do, and that my advice will be of use. Your dear friend. No signature. How mysterious. Well, whoever it was is crap out of luck. What a piss-poor friend you turned out to be. Ha! That's cryptic. Any idea what it means? Aren't you the romance novel expert? I never said that I read romance novels. Sure you don't. Whatever, just put it back. Must be important at least. A knock at the door forces you to pause with the letter held in midair. Like a child who's about to get caught with a hand in the cookie jar, Kid rushes you in a harsh whisper. Hurry up! Hide it already! Why? It's just a letter. It looks sus. Just do it. Fine. Putting the letter back where you found it, you shut the suitcase and kick it under the bed. The metal hinges scraping noisily against the floor. Is everything all right, my lady? A woman's voice rings out, muffled through the door. She sounds sweet, though audibly concerned. I'm all right. May I come in? Oh, sure thing. Ah, there's a spider! There's a spider on my wall! I thought I sprayed that thing. It's still alive. It's near me! Spider emergency, help! Sure thing? What are you, a peasant? You're the villainess! Act like one! Act like what? A school bully? Whatever. You may enter. Huh? We do not see. Okay. Is that supposed to be there? At your order, a maid enters, greeting as she does. The maroon locks that peek from under her hood bounce as she straightens back from a bow. As promised by Roy, she delivers the rest of your luggage, a small chest of gold in another suitcase. Even with her face obscured, she looks as plain as they come. My name is Cassandra. I am here to serve you, my lady. I shall be in your care then. Though you're not sure, you sound rather brusque in your awkwardness. The maid positively beams at you. So this is what it's like serving someone with great status. You mean you haven't before? You serve the Duke, though, don't you? No, my lady. I myself have just arrived. I've been personally selected by the court to serve you to the best of my abilities. Saying that, she gives you a knowing smile that you can't comprehend. Lord Advisor Roy, presumed you'd be more comfortable with someone who is also new here. He did? Roy, huh? He's awfully chummy with the servants. Or is that the norm here? Noticing your surprise, Cassandra explains. Ah, forgive me. It's only that Roy dislikes strict etiquette. He's such a kind man, is he not? Yes, kind. Is there another Roy in this manor, or... Despite my short stay here, I've committed the manor and its grounds to memory, so that I may best serve you, my lady. And if you're worried about my commendations, I have been personally selected to tend to you by the Queen herself. The Queen? Yes, Her Majesty holds you in a very high regard. That's quite an honor. Of course. Now, do you require my assistance? Or should I begin preparing your bath? You must be exhausted. Yes, but no need. I would like to do it privately. Oh, of course. Then I wish you a restful evening, my lady. With that, she's gone, leaving you alone in the room. Well, almost alone. I didn't know how fracking hard it is pretending to be a bird. All you have to do is be quiet. You try being a bird, then. Or you can learn how to shut the frack up, regardless of whether you're a bird or not. Pot calling the kettle black. You... Hold on. Are you seriously arguing with an imaginary bird? Shaking your head, you ignore the bird until he takes the hint and scurries to the corner of the room. Finally, peace and quiet. Foregoing the bed, you take a closer look at the room, partitioned into two areas by the curtains. The main part is larger, with a wardrobe and plenty of space by the door. The study, though smaller, leads to what looks like a balcony. You can't imagine it being used often, if at all. Aside from the furniture, your assigned room is pretty bare. The wardrobe and desk hold no valuables either, courtesy of kids' eager research. Speaking of, you catch the bird fiddling with the latches of the newly brought suitcase. He freezes nervously. Haha, oops. Immediately, you throw a shoe at him. The projectile makes contact, sending him a distance away. Thief. Ignoring the pained groans and the usual expletives, you check if there's really anything worth stealing in the suitcase. It contains a worn-out but luxurious gown, an empty journal, a quill, and an ink pot. Turns out, not really. That's it? They really sent you away with just the clothes on your back? Dang. I know, right? Dang, you're still alive. He opens his beak to argue, but speeds behind the curtain the moment you grab your other shoe. Satisfied to have him gone, you put the suitcase on top of the previous one under the bed. Okay, that's done. A yawn escapes you mid-speech. Your mind is wide awake, but the body you possess seems to be on the verge of exhaustion. You feel as though you might drift off the second your body hits the mattress. Regardless, you doubt you'll fall asleep. This one. You feel as though you might drift off the second your body hits the mattress. Indeed, the rest of your time awake blurs the moment you lay in bed. Devoid of all energy, you conk out in no time. It's o'clock. There's a moment between wakefulness and dreaming that has you expecting the dreaded buzz of an alarm clock. It never comes. The only sound that reaches your ears is a haunting wail of hailstorm and a rustle of sheets when you pull yourself upwards. You're still here. It doesn't seem like you're going to wake up anytime soon, huh? Brushing the sleep out of your eyes, you leave the warmth of the bed, sliding your bare feet into satin-like slippers that someone prepared for you in advance. A quick glance around the room tells you that you're alone. No maids, no birds, and certainly no dukes to be seen around here. On the nightstand to your right, there's the key Roy tried to tease you with. Okay, well, we're ignoring it. You instead focus on the basin filled with fresh water nearby. It's still warm when you plunge your hand into it. Next to the toiletries, your servant left you a bell with a note asking you to use it if you need to call for her. You disregard it for now, in favor of a quick wash down with a linen cloth. Aside from the entrance, your room has 2 additional doors, the bathroom and the annex, you presume. You'd rather not check which is which, if only because they both could end up being communal. Not that it matters much if a bunch of imaginary people can see you in your negligee. Once you're ready, you call for a Cassandra, but minutes pass and she doesn't show up. Maybe the characters have changed, even if the setting of the dream did not. That leaves you having to dress up on your own, which wouldn't be a problem if your outfit choice didn't consist of elaborate dresses with more layers than reason. Nice. That makes me feel like I'm some old granny, I'm not gonna lie. That's cute and Christmassy feeling. Now that's like super old school. That's like princess-esque. I think I like this one better. Taking it off was much easier than putting it on, even if you pick the simplest of gowns. Your outside shoes are nowhere to be found, so you content yourself with the slippers, wrapping one of the smaller blankets over your shoulders for warmth. Behind the window, the snowstorm is raging on. There's not a soul outside, just miles upon miles of white. You're stranded in the manor. Forever long your dream might last. Since your appointed room lacks any enrichment, you're better off looking for it elsewhere. The building seemed vast. There should be plenty of nooks and crannies for you to discover. Now, where to go first? Stay in the room, just outside in the corridor, then see where your feet carry you. They should have a library. Check the entrance. Let's... Bloop. We are... Why is there a heart on this one? Wait, why is there a heart on this one? Okay, well, let's... Huh? What? Oh, what? Oh, okay. If you're going to be residing here for a while, you might as well try memorizing the layout of the manor, starting from your immediate surroundings. The corridor outside of your room is unremarkable, much like the one further down. Tall windows on one side, narrow balcony behind it, and a neat line of paintings on the other wall. A couple of flower pots arranged by the turning point give off a sweet, lemony scent. Other than that, there's no one else even remotely alive in the hallway. Just as you consider turning back, a clack, clack, clack of fast and loud footsteps echoes from around the corner. In a blink, you stand face to face with none other than the Duke. He's dressed in a fur overcoat with specks of fresh snow melting away on the strands. The towering man makes an almost comically startled expression that quickly sets into his customary frown. In his arms, that he rapidly hides behind his back, is another smaller coat made from the same material. Good morning. Oh, so it is still morning. Hard to say with all that snow falling. Yes, good morning. You answer belatedly, and a few beats of silence pass before either of you speaks again. Where's your coat? Now that's a good question. You didn't see your shoes anywhere in your room, so you can suspect the coat is elsewhere too. I don't really need it. I'm not going outside. Oh. Scrunching his nose, he studies you wordlessly, only to hand you the overgarment he's been hiding behind him. You should wear this instead. Regular outerwear isn't recommended for the harsh weather out here. Okay, we'll accept that. Taking the gift, you run your hands through the fur. It's thick, but softer than any fabric you've ever felt in real life. Thank you. That's ice muskox wool and steel maned fox's pelt. They are both extinct as of last year, but there are still a few bolts remaining within the duchy. If they're extinct, that means the materials alone have to be worth a fortune. And still, he used it to commission a coat for a fiancé he didn't even want. I apologize if it's too simple. I didn't have your size beforehand, and I had to assume the length. Hold on. You made it for me? I just sewed it. The weaver did most of the work. From the pinched expression, it seems he expects to be berated rather than thanked. Thank you. Duke's cheeks flush in response to your words. His usual regal composure falters slightly as he shifts from one foot to the other. It's just a coat. That you personally made for me. Figures. A hot guy makes you a coat from a beast he hunted. There's no way this is not a dream. He looks proud of himself too, like a puppy waiting to be pet, but unsure if he's earned it. To show your appreciation, you quickly put it on, finding that it fits you surprisingly well. The fur, though thick, is also very light, and the coat doesn't hinder your movements. It's wonderful. I love it. Flummoxed at first, Duke observes you through half-lidded eyes, as though waiting for that gotcha moment. When he realizes that you're not making fun of him, his entire body sags. It's really nothing. More relaxed now, Duke helps you lace and button up the front, smiling slightly as he does so. His movements are a bit stiff, and his hands never touch you directly. You can't help but grin back, another thing that comes to him as a surprise. Encouraged, if dazed by the reception, Duke reaches towards his belt. I have something else for you. More? But I haven't prepared anything for you. Nor should you. I'm the one who will take care of you. But what if I do want to give you something? For now, please accept this. Pulling out a fist-sized leather satchel, Duke holds it before you as an offering. Careful, it's heavy. Heavy and warm. The moment you take the satchel off him, a pleasant heat runs through your entire body, warming you up from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Forgive me for my tardiness. I had hoped to have it assembled before your arrival. What is that? It looks like a crystal of some sort. A heating crystal, yes. We deploy them to fuel the forges, but I thought it can be of use here as well. Was one of these used to keep the bed warm? Yes. Was it not to your liking? What did Kid say? An evil duke? He looks more like a puppy than the beast he supposedly is. No, it's perfect. The blankets alone would have sufficed. You didn't have to go to such lengths for me. I thought that if... He cuts himself off abruptly, almost angrily. Yes? Shaking his head, he gives you a thin, somber smile. I hope it'll make your stay in the duchy even a little less tedious. Tedious? Is he joking? Living in a huge mansion, rent-free, with a maid, and no job? Tedious your butt. It's like hitting the jackpot. What do you mean? He snorts at that, not ridiculing, but disbelieving. I am aware of the state of the duchy. I also know that you didn't wish to come here. There are a few places worse than... He cuts himself off, gaze lowered. I want you to know that there's nothing I require of you. Besides marrying you? He winces, and you regret speaking at all. I mean, you don't really want to marry a stranger either, do you? It doesn't matter what I want, he says calmly, without a hint of emotion behind his words. I am the Duke. You are also a person. Which should be obvious, but it seems it isn't for him. At first, he looks at you as though you're speaking a different language, but then he breathes out a laugh. You must have heard the rumors about me. The slander about your cold heart and beastly demeanor? Slander? He repeats, the corner of his lips hooking up. I've yet to see any truth to the gossip. You shrug with one arm, shaking the satchel in your grasp to prove a point. Do you not find me intimidating? On the contrary, I find you rather charming. Huffing out a breath, Duke turns away from you, suddenly interested in one of the paintings. Now, I know you don't mean that. I do. And what's so charming about me? His pose is confrontational when he faces you again, even though his voice remains perfectly placid. Nothing. Something in his fiery eyes looks almost hopeful, begging you to contradict him. Do you know the most deadly beast of the north? Let me guess. You? Is that what people say? When he doesn't respond, you press on. Do they even know you? Duke's mouth, that was just now opening an argument, slaps shut. Half of the kingdom would kill to be with you, or be you, if only because you're handsome. The sound that escapes Duke's throat is a blend of a cough and a whistle. His once alabaster skin looks more like a brick. What about you? Am I living up to the stories? Slowly, Duke shakes his head, speaking with some reluctance. I know rumors are rarely to be trusted, but I have to admit that your sweetness surprises me, my lady. Wow, so he does have some riz. You could say we're destined for each other. Destined? A villainess and an evil duke. We make quite the pair. That we do. I must ask, though, is your name really... Duke? One of them, yes. My mother... Though he stops himself mid-sentence, as if by reflex, it appears he isn't reluctant to talk about it. Perhaps he's just not used to sharing his thoughts. My mother enjoyed making jokes, most often at another's expense. She sounds like a wisecracker. She was, as far as I can remember. Was. Ah, wrong topic. Abort, abort. What about your other name? You said one of them. Duke's smile, which has already started to dim, becomes a stern grimace. The sadness in his eyes morphs into anger. The other name was given to me by someone whose opinion no longer matters to me. He can keep his name and his legacy to himself. I don't need it. Understandable. A movement from the staircase breaks the awkward pause. Duke follows the direction of your eyes, eventually turning to take in the newcomer fully. Cassandra's refined posture takes a tumble when she notices Duke. Hunching into herself, she keeps her eyes fixed on his shoes. I beg your pardon, my lord. A faint tremble can be heard when she speaks. I'm sorry to interrupt, but dinner is ready. I thought it was morning. Have we been talking that long? Her mine is neutral and to the point. There's nothing left of the cheerful, bubbly girl that chatted you up in your room. Lifting her head up lightly, she notices that both of you are wearing overgarments. May I take your coats, or should I send the butler? You can take them. He looks to you for confirmation, helping you undress once you nod in agreement. He then folds both of your coats neatly and hands them to the maid. Should I guide the lady to the annex? That won't be necessary. I will escort the lady myself. Wait, why'd he put his jacket back on? What? Then, as if remembering himself, he glances at you. Unless you'd rather go with her. No, I'm fine. All right then I will lead the way. We're having dinner. The annex, like the rest of the manor, is dimly lit, but offers a full view of a hothouse garden sprawling outside. The room has a fresh, pleasant scent due to the myriad of plants decorating one of the corners. The table is set with only 3 chairs, 1 at the head and 2 on each side. You're placed on the left in the seat reserved for the spouse, while Roy takes the spot on the right. Filling the last remaining spot, Duke signals the maids to bring the meal. The smell of grilled vegetables and a savory sauce makes your mouth water. Roy doesn't even wait for the plates to touch the tablecloth before he starts yapping. At least there's food and drinks to help stomach the conversation. How do you find your new life, my lady? Peaceful, I assume, compared to the capital's bustle? You must miss your parties and soirees, don't you? Why? Do you miss yours? Seemingly anticipating the jibe, Roy's smile doesn't even flicker. Though your guess is correct, I am indeed from the capital. I guess I must ask as to why you take me for an Epicurean. You don't have the presence of a... how to say rumor-mongering, mean girl energy, two-faced butthole nicely. Social butterfly. I'll take that as a compliment. As it was intended. Alas, my inquiry stands. Seeing as I've only been here for a day, isn't that question overtly fast? Then your room, at least? I trust you had a pleasant night? That I did, thank you. Pleasant might be too much, but he said it, not you. The room was fabulous, the bed was cozy, but it's more that you didn't really have a chance to truly enjoy your sleep, considering you were knocked out the moment you laid down. Roy's surprise is more covert this time, but it's clear that he expected a different answer. That's so. Well, our Duke went to great lengths to ensure... Roy. I am glad you enjoy the sound of my name so much, my lord, but the lady might misunderstand. Abandoning his cutlery to massage his temples, Duke gives you a half-apologetic, half-resigned look. There's no winning with him, is there? Sadly, no. Believe me, I tried. You've been suffering terribly. Roy's clownery makes Duke chatty. Who would have thought? It seems the advisor does have his uses. I see how it is. Not yet married, but already ganging up on me. A true union indeed. Speaking of, my lady, what do you think of Duke? Roy. Ignore me, then. That will be easy to do, so long as he keeps his mouth shut. Which he doesn't, of course. What do you think of me? Roy. I jest. Unless. I swear to... All right. The medics did say you should mind your blood pressure. Casting his gaze upward, Duke twists in his chair to face you more fully. Please forgive his excitement. He's an only child. I can tell. He's very tenacious. Not to mention attention-starved. My lady's instincts are right. I don't let go of something I consider mine, nor am I easily sated by. Should you be concerned with that second comment? Roy, should I send you to bed without dessert for you to behave? Hiding a snort behind a napkin, you ignore Roy's head shifting from Duke to you, then back again. I think you might have to, my lord. With disobedient children, there's no other choice but to be strict. If I am a child in your estimation, my lady, then marrying Duke will make you a cradle robber. I'm 5 years older than you. 4.5, but who's counting, really? Who's counting, indeed? When you laugh again, Roy sends you a triumphant glance. Admit it, Duke. If nothing else, I do liven up the atmosphere. Just look at the lady. That you do, I suppose. Duke concurs with a sigh, though his face is set. There are twinkles of mirth dancing in his eyes. They dim right away when a group of servants comes into the annex, serving the dishes quickly and courtly, making sure not to look in Duke's direction. Some of them are hardly breathing, and when they approach the head of the table, their hands visibly shake. The smidgen of relaxation that was unfolding in Duke absconds, and by the time the servants are gone, you all proceed with the meal in tense silence. Oh, we have to eat? Okay. The food is exquisite, full of flavor and various spices. Your meal companions glance at you as you eat, gauging your appraisal. Your enthusiasm has to be showing, though, because once again Roy appears nonplussed. Duke, on the other hand, seems gladdened by it. A polite knock announces the arrival of another guest, one of the maids this time. Ah, Sophia, there you are. Did you bring what I asked you? Of course. Imported rosé wine, as per your request. Seemingly unaware of the change in Duke's mood, and completely ignorant of Sophia's rigidness, Roy continues to chatter animatedly. Wonderful. I so missed good wine. Not that our regional snowberry liqueur isn't delicious, mind you, he says, waving at Sophia to pour the drink into 3 crystal goblets, starting with Duke. When she does yours next, Roy taps on his almost impatiently. Focus not on the liquid filling up your drinkware, but the actual container itself. He stops when you make it obvious that you're watching him, wiping the irritation clean off his face. The downward tug of his frown reverts into a polite smile. It will go well with today's stew, and the roasted chestnuts are chef made for dessert. Assuming that you're allowed to stay at the table that long, you mutter, locking eyes with the host. There's really nothing better than the liquor to make the company of a child tolerable to us adults, isn't that so, my lord? You add in a mock whisper, coaxing a tiny smile from Duke. Tolerable, my lady, you underestimate the impact of my charm. Confidence is a great trait to have, even in overabundance. Snorting into the wine he's been attempting to sip, Duke attempts to cover up his reaction with a cough or two. Sophia's face seems stuck in disbelief, even as she exits the room, hastily dismissed by Roy. Ah, finally, the future spouse wakes from his silence. Roy exclaims once the annex is free of staff. Or rather, he awakens to the charms of our lovely lady. Roy, I assure you, I was never asleep to begin with. Oh-ho! Roy places an open palm on the left side of his chest. And here I thought you didn't believe in love at first sight. Swallowing half of the goblet's contents in one gulp, Duke places the drink back on the table. There is really nothing you won't say, is there? The main role of an advisor is to speak, Duke. When appropriate. And when a conversation is more appropriate than during a private meal with a soon-to-be family member. To avoid answering, Duke tastes a spoonful of stew. You follow suit, finishing your meal in accompaniment of Roy's whining and unanswered one-liners. Whenever your eyes meet Duke's, as a result of Roy's monologues, you find it harder and harder to bite back a grin. I can see when I am not needed, Roy says at some point, bored with swirling the cutlery around his bowl. I shall leave the two of you lovebirds. Shh. I shall leave the two lovebirds to themselves. Roy. Now, my lord, my lady. After getting to his feet, he bows, this time almost sincerely, if not for all the teasing in his tone. Seizing his goblet, he raises it in a toast, clearly expecting you both to join him. Duke, long-suffering and easily coaxable, indulges him, and so you decide to give in as well. Anything to get rid of Roy, right? To your health. He raises his goblet to his lips, tips his head back, and empties it. Enjoy your meal. As Roy excuses himself, Duke finishes his own wine, immediately reaching for the bottle to refill his goblet. Since neither of them so much as blinked, you surmise the beverage can't be too heavy. We're drinking it. It's not. When you drink your share, a tangy yet fruity taste fills your mouth. The wine is light, but the effect it has on you is instantaneous. My lady, are you well? Never better. And it's true, you've never felt so open, so lightheaded, and after just a few sips of wine, too. Is the body you're borrowing a lightweight? What's in it? Excuse me? The wine. Duke blinks at you, confusion plain on his face. Let me check. The large bottle is chilled to the touch. Heavy, too, with how full it is. When you give it a cautionary sniff, you don't smell anything off other than the fermented fruit. The label says, well, there's no label. You'll have to taste it once again. Where's my cup? Here it is. My lady? Huh? It's only Duke's careful hand on the bottle that makes you realize that you've been overfilling your goblet. Oops. Leaning in, you slurp down the wine to keep it from spilling until you can't drink any more without having to tilt your goblet. Which you do. As soon as your drinking glass is empty, you refill it once more, this time remembering to offer some to the Duke as well. When you look up from your successful task, you notice him frowning. My lady, I don't think... When you scrunch your face like that, you look like a cat from a meme I saw. What the... Oh no! A cat from a what? You're kinda cute. Duke, pink-faced and wide-eyed, looks at you with his mouth hanging open. I don't think we should drink any more of this. Oh my gosh. What on earth? You're right, regardless, you reach for your goblet. Honor me. The party don't start till I walk in. Oh no. 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 That is hilarious. Oh my god. Do you know how tempting it is to click this? This is funny. Okay, I did save. We're clicking. Okay, we're clicking it. The party don't stop till I walk in. We're getting crap faced tonight, right? It's still bright, but with all the snow, the outside seems luminous no matter the hour. We are doing what? He sounds so scandalized. Looks the part too, with his cheeks cherry red and not at all from the booze. Hey, why you look so good when you're blushing? That's illegal. Illegal. It should be unfaltering. No, wait, that's not it. Wow, his smile's kinda nice. Unflattering? What's unflattering? He grins again, helplessly amused, then takes the bottle from your slack grip. Let me take that. Is your cup empty? What? No, Let's make a toast. My lady. One toast. I think you had enough. Please. Just one? Just one. All right. You're so nice, I could kiss you. Drinks first, though, rewards later. Getting one more drink inside you, you grab the Duke's hand when he reaches to take your goblet from you. Come on, dude, let's dance. I don't think that would be appropriate. Why? Going red all the way down to his neck, Duke avoids your gaze. How about another drink instead? Yeah? The shade of his face darkens when you slip your fingers between his. Yes. You're the best. Okay, one more drink and... Oh, I didn't even click. What the heck? What? Huh? Whoa. Huh? What just happened? What? Why did it start off sounding eerie? What the heck? When the darkness clears from your eyes, it's replaced by the sight of your new room's ceiling spinning slightly. The day is still young. Or is it early? Crap. What was in that wine? You've mixed plenty of booze during your college days, but nothing hit you half as hard. Then again, if they used to put actual Coke in Coca-Cola, you wouldn't be surprised if the wine was spiked. It takes you 3 tries to lift yourself onto your elbows. Each time you move, a stab of pain splits your skull apart. Fracking heck. Turning to the side, you mumble through a Sahara dry throat as another drum of headache beats mercilessly at your temple. Propping yourself on something hard, you blink as the light hits your eyes directly. Hold on. Hard? Did we do something? What? Uh-oh. Wait, we're not in our room. Oh, wait. Thanks for playing to the end of the demo, you silly NPC. Psst. Curious on what more these schmucks are doing? Best bet, Tumblr. Look, more lengths. Yay. Oh, wait, just one more. TikTok. With all that done, kid is out. Peace. Dang, man. They leave us with that. Hey, yo. So we have 2 more CGs to unlock, but I'm not gonna do it. Y'all can do that, or friggin' buy the full thing so you can get more. Dang, man. Why you gotta end it like that? Oh my gosh. And I chose the joke choice. And I wind up in bed with the Duke. Are you kidding? Oh my gosh. That is funny. Oh, man. Let's click on about. Oh, no. Oh, okay. There's credits. Woo. All right. Well, I definitely enjoyed that. It's essentially another isekai. And we played another isekai Otome game from this game jam. I like this one. I really do. I mean, I like both, but man, I want to keep going. Anyway, this is the demo. I am going to link their game jam submission page, so y'all can go check it out. Y'all can play the demo yourselves or buy the game. Either way, I am interested. I need to know more. I'll definitely be buying this at some point. So yes, I hope you all enjoyed this video, because I definitely enjoyed recording it. So that's gonna be it for now. I really do appreciate you guys watching, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Bye!